Where knowledge is the rim of years, we call it grow, systematic faith, fire, and focus. Seeing one of the biggest breakthroughs when we remove what interferes with faith, fire, and focus, it leads to breakthrough performance. My interest in breakthrough performance began when my elder brother entered me in my school's tennis tournament. I'd been on a court 3 times in my life prior to that, but I reached the final and I was playing against what I remember as our school jock. And I was 6'4", 4-love in the lead, and a voice in my head said, you know, you've already won 10 games, you've only got to win 2 more, and you'll be the champion. And of course I froze. I didn't win another game. But I did start on a journey to learn what it takes to trigger breakthrough performance. So I did all the training there was to do to be a tennis coach. And yet, despite all of that training, I struggled with the same issues we struggle with as individuals, and in families, and even in organizations. And 2 common ones were that some people seem to learn much more quickly than others, and some people perform much better under pressure than others. So in my search for answers, I had some really big ahas. One was that the most common issue wasn't lack of knowledge, it was lack of action on knowledge. In other words, it wasn't knowing what to do, it was doing what we know. Another was that there's a significant gap between what we think we do and what we actually do. And another one was that if we remove what interferes with our mental state, we significantly improve performance. We get people to action and we close that gap between what we think we do and what we actually do. So in the end, I concluded that 90% of what I was doing to help people achieve breakthrough performance either made no difference, and in many situations it actually made them worse. So people like you would pay me to make you worse, and we'd both smile about this because we both believed we were doing the right thing. So these ahas caused a 170-degree shift in the way I coached. I'd always taken an outside-in approach, which we could represent by an equation that says performance equals capacity plus knowledge. And this is still the most common belief driving coaching behavior. And if you think about it, it's kind of crazy, because if this was accurate, we'd all read the book and we'd all be world champions. So there has to be something else involved, and there seem to be 3 other key factors: faith, fire, and focus. Faith is what we believe about ourselves, fire is our level of energy, and focus is about what we pay attention to. So when I moved to an inside-out approach, which is all about performance equals capacity minus interference, people began to have huge breakthroughs. One of the biggest breakthroughs I saw was a 9-year-old girl who'd had 6 tennis lessons, and using the outside-in approach, she'd only managed 5 in a row. And in our first volley using the inside-out approach, she hit the ball over the net 50 times in a row. So I stood on the court angry because this was one of the biggest breakthroughs I'd ever witnessed, and I didn't fully understand what had taken place. These kind of breakthroughs encouraged me to continue to explore the inside-out approach, and it produced such great results. It led to my working with golfers, with musicians, with teachers, children, and corporate executives. And the key is that when we remove what interferes with faith, fire, and focus, it leads to breakthrough performance.